So our next speaker will talk or will share with us case studies on additive manufacturing. Another in-house talent from ITDI Material Science Division. She has a degree in chemical engineering from Mapua and a master's in material science and engineering from the same institution. She has worked as a laboratory analyst in Almatel and is currently a research specialist in the Material Science Division of ITDI, where she works on projects related to surface engineering. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome, with a round of applause, Engineer Vivian C. Lagura.
I'll be presenting different case studies on additive manufacturing on different disciplines or field. So, pasadahan ko lang po. So, just a review, additive manufacturing is defined by ASTM as the process of joining materials layer by layer to create objects from 3D model. So therefore, from digital data, you convert it into a 3D object, an actual 3D object. So that is one revolutionary in the manufacturing industry. So the advantages of additive manufacturing industry is automated, and it reduces the manufacturing steps, shorter lead time, and cost saving, small scale production, and of course you have the freedom to build complex design. Over the years, nagkaroon ng expansion ng capabilities of additive manufacturing. Initially, it was used for the fabrication of prototypes for the purpose of visualization and touch and feel models. However, through recent advancement, nagkaroon din ng expanding capabilities wherein, according to Waller, the mechanical properties, the repeatability and reliability has significantly enhanced or improved over the years. It's due to materials development. Yung mga unang generation ng additive manufacturing, nakalimit lang yung materials nila to polymers. However, yung mga bagong generation na ng 3D printers, they are capable of printing materials made of metals and ceramics. And even yung mga bagong generation ng 3D printers, they are capable of producing multi-material objects and composites. And of course, nagkaroon din ng advancement ng mga 3D printers. So marami ng types sa bagong models sa mga 3D printers. So therefore, since nag-expand yung capabilities ng additive manufacturing, na-extend din yung application niya, usually for industries that produces high-value products, such as aerospace, automotives, defense, medical, and consumer electronics. So there are a lot of case studies that you can find online in literatures, but I chose these case studies which I think have significant impact on various industries. So case number one, the 3D printed UAV or the unmanned aerial vehicle. This was designed and created by Selected Geospatial Advanced Manufacturing Facility, and they use Stratasys Dimension 3D printer, and the material that they use is ABS material. So the UAV that they produce is a lightweight structure. It has boosting efficiencies and durable, and of course it has complex aerospace parts. Now, the result of this 3D printed UAV is yung fabrication time niya was reduced from 2 months to 2 weeks. Yung conventional fabrication technique is yung 2D laser cut, which would take about 2 months. However, with using the FDM technique, it was reduced to 2 weeks. And of course, the cost of fabricating this UAV has significantly reduced to 30,000, from 30,000 to 5,150 USD. It's because yung conventional way of fabricating UAV, it requires a lot of tooling, machining works, and designing. But when it comes to 3D printing, you can print directly the material without any need of machines or tools. Now, the second case is the creation of Wampeller, or this is actually a propeller for marine applications. As you know, the propeller is one of the important components of building a ship. So, usually yung conventional way of producing it is very time-consuming, at saka it requires a lot of engineering works. Kasi just the same, kailangan mo ng machine and tooling. You need a lot of machine and tooling works for you to be able to produce the propeller. So, the Wampeller is actually created by RAMLab, or produced by RAMLab in November 30, 2017, which is the world's first 3D printed marine propeller. Now it measures around 1.3 meters across and it weighs around 180 kilograms. Now, Wampeller, it means Wampeller is actually para kang nag-weld nung wires of nickel, aluminum, bronze alloy. So most 3D printers, they use powder metals. In this technology, they use wires or parang filament, continuous wires, and then they weld them together. They fuse them together until na maka-form siya ng propeller. And then they were able to test it, and they were able to compare the performance of the conventional propeller and to this Wampeller. And so far, in terms of performance, comparative naman, and actually it underwent rigorous testing, and fortunately it was able to pass the Bureau of Veritas testing. So it was completed. This Wampeller was able to complete for in 256 hours or 11 days. Yung conventional na propeller would take 3 weeks to several months. So imagine yung na-reduce na time from 11 days as compared to yung ilang months. Okay, so what is the impact of creating this Wampeller? Of course, it reduced the time production, it reduced the fabrication cost, and it reduced the fuel cost. If you compare the mass of the Wampeller to the conventional propeller, medyo mas magaan siya. It's because meron siyang hollow parts. So therefore, since mas magaan siya, without compromising yung durability niya at saka yung performance niya, yung cost ng fuel na-reduce. Now, case number 3 is rapid tooling method. As mentioned earlier, hindi pa naman talaga mainstream yung additive manufacturing sa mga industry. So we still rely on yung conventional fabrication method, which is yung subtractive at saka yung formative. However, through AM technology, you can build or create casting molds. So that these casting molds, you can use them for large volume production. And usually kasi yung pag-produce din ng mga casting molds, they would require time and cost. However, when you use additive manufacturing, nare-reduce din yung cost and yung time, lead time. Okay. This one is similar to what Dr. Bondok has presented earlier. It's the separation of conjoined twins. So these twins, they are from Guatemala and they are conjoined at their heads. However, CT scans and X-ray, kahit na conjoined sila at their heads, their brains and arteries were separated. So the challenge was the veins, the veins that drain the blood were interwoven and fed into each other's circulatory system, which complicates the operation procedure. So the solution for that, they CT scan the skull of the twins and they combined it into a single 3D model to produce several prototypes. So they use these prototypes to plan out their surgery procedures. They also use it to practice their surgical procedures using Stratasys Polyjet. So as a result, they successfully separated the conjoined twins in a span of 22 hours. Normally, this type of surgery would take 97 hours. So, ang impact nun, less yung risk for the patient. Kasi mas mahaba yung surgery, mas matagal yung surgery, they have the risk of yung blood loss and infection, exposure to infection. And last is yung food printing. Marami ng mga food printers ngayon, normally they would use it to print chocolates. But at NTU, they use it to produce hospital foods. Usually, itong mga hospital foods na to, binibigyan nila to sa mga patients na hindi na kayang kumain using their mouths. So ito yung madaling lunugin. But of course, hindi naman yan, they still need to process this food, usually vegetables. And they develop their own formulation para maging printable siya sa 3D printer. The printer that they use is Fodini 3D printer. Extrusion type siya. And lastly, it's the Liberator. The Liberator is the first 3D printed handgun. All the pieces, all the parts of this handgun were 3D printed, except for the firing pin. And the materials that they use is ABS plus thermoplastic. Later, may mga sumunod na sa kanya. There were several weapons that were created. After the thermoplastic, they were able to produce metal na handgun and semi-automatic weapons. So actually, it raised some controversies because it implies that you can use 3D printer to illegally produce deadly weapons. So, as the future, since hindi pa nga mainstream, as I mentioned earlier, hindi pa nga mainstream yung additive manufacturing, but once na penetrate na niya yung mga malalaking industries with high value products, 3D printers has to be subjected to certification, standardization of methods, and of course regulation or policy making, especially when it comes to yung mga weapons, mga illegal firearms. So, thank you for listening.